The data we've worked with up to this point has been coded into our programs or provided to us through user input. But in reality, much of this data will actually live in files in your file system. A file system is a structure used by computers to organize and keep track of your data. These files might be found in directories or subdirectories. In this chapter, we will use Python functions and methods to open, read, and write text files. Although there are many types of files, like spreadsheets, word processing documents, presentation files, and even web page files, text files instead are plain and simple in that they only contain characters. Like other programs, we need to open files in Python before working with them, and close the files when we're done with them. Here, we are opening a text file by specifying its path and file name in the first parameter. The second parameter in our open function tells Python what you plan to do with this file. In this case, we will specify an R for read only. If we want to open this file for writing, we'd specify a W. We will discuss more on writing later. We then store the file referenced into a variable named f before closing the file. Let's use the file f to explore 3 methods for reading the contents of our file. Using the read method, we'll read and return the contents of the entire file as a single string. You can also read one line at a time by using the readLine method. This method will return the next line of the file up to and including the new line character. A new line character is written as a \n and represents the separation between lines of text. Alternatively, the readLines method returns a list, where each item represents a single line in the file. Since this method returns a list, it is frequently used in a for loop to iterate through each line of the text file. We can streamline our method for reading and processing files using a keyword called with. Here, the main difference is that we're doing all of our file processing inside the with code block. Once we exit the code block, Python will automatically close your file. At this point, we've looked at opening, reading, and closing files. Now, let's explore how we might write to a text file. Remember that R parameter in the open function? R stands for read. So if we change this to W, Python will open the file for writing. In this case, if a file with the name we specify does not exist, it will be created by default. If it does exist, then you will lose any data to that file. Use the write method to write your file. Notice that this method takes a single string parameter. Every time you call this method, it will add the string you specify to the end of the file. As you continue exploring files in this chapter, look for ways you can use Python's built-in methods and functions to work with other formats.